Talk about some first aid kits. Trouble is with a lot of the commercial first aid kits on the market today, you can spend $30–40 on a kit that's just the only use it's for is dealing with a bee sting, or possibly somebody's got a minor cut or a minor gash. If you're going somewhere where you could be dealing with serious trauma, gunshot wounds, think about somebody's involved in a serious car crash, etc., you need something which is a bit more substantial. I make my own first aid kits. The commercial stuff, you're better off going around to medical supplies and buying the little pieces that you need than spending $30, $40, $50 plus on a commercial first aid kit. The first kit I'll show you, this is a very light portable kit. It's made out of improvised equipment. Yeah, very small, very light, very easy to carry. Everything here is enclosed in a Ziploc bag. The Ziploc bag itself can be used for treating burns, also for dealing with sucking chest wounds. A lot to do with first aid is knowing how to use the equipment you've got, not relying on buying expensive equipment that in reality isn't going to do much. So a plastic bag has got multiple first aid applications. Included in this kit, we've got 4 tampons. These are meant for dealing with blood. They're meant for absorbing blood. Somebody's got a gunshot wound, somebody's got a gash, put the tampon in the wound, it'll swell up, it'll help clog the blood. So tampons are good pieces of first aid equipment. You've also got a Kotex, which comes in a plastic bag, which again can be used for sucking chest wounds, etc. This pad itself is pretty large. That opens up. That's a pretty large dressing that'll deal with quite serious wounds. And again, this is meant for absorbing blood. If you look at the size of this, when you're looking at commercial first aid kits, this is the size of a large dressing, so there isn't much difference. Yeah? And again, with this kit, you can buy this equipment anywhere. You don't have to go to a tactical store or buy this online. You can get this stuff anywhere. I've also included some safety pins. If somebody breaks an arm, breaks a leg, these can be used for pinning the other limb to the other limb. They've got multiple uses. Yeah, I always include ample safety pins. Gaffer tape, again, has got multiple uses. If you're dealing with a sucking chest wound, you'd use this to tape the bag, tape the plastic over 3 sides of the wound. Somebody's got a large wound, you put the tampon in the wound, tape it in with the gaffer tape. You can use this for sealing wounds. You can use this for taping broken fingers, etc. We're not worried too much about infection. We're worried about first aid. We want to make sure the person's alive to get them to the doctor. It's up to the doctors, the hospitals, to clean the wounds and take it from there. We're interested in the first aid, keeping that person alive so the doctors can deal with them. Yeah, so infection's not the main thing on our mind. Now moving up, this is a larger first aid kit. Both of these kits are easy to carry. You can throw these in your bag. The other kit I just showed you, you could throw that in a pocket wherever you go. If you're traveling, you can have some first aid equipment with you. So this pack's a little bit larger. To start off with, dressing wise, I've included here 2 US military field dressings. This is what they look like individually. They're slim, easy to carry. They come in a plastic bag which has got multiple uses. Here I've taped to these 2 dressings. The reason for 2 dressings, if you're dealing with gunshot wounds, one for the entry wound, one for the exit wound. We got gaffer tape, multiple uses. There's scalpel blades, cutting off clothing, etc. And I've got extra safety pins, again, multiple usings. This in itself is a handy first aid kit. Again, it's light, it's very, very portable. It doesn't weigh a ton, so it's easy to carry. Put it in a pocket, put it in your bag, no problems. In addition to the dressings, I've got a tourniquet. It was a piece of bungee cord with a slip knot attached. that can be applied to a wound, a limb, to stop excessive bleeding. I've got rubber gloves. If you're dealing with somebody else's body fluid, you don't want to get any infections. So these days, I always include rubber gloves, etc. in my larger packs. Also, this is a vent aid. If you're giving somebody CPR, this will help to prevent their body fluids getting into your mouth, etc. That goes over the victim's face, and you breathe through it. Again, you always got to consider your safety before you worry about somebody else's. Also in this kit, I got some sterile wipes, Band-Aids. Now, these are steri strips. These have been used. I need to get some new ones. These can be used in substitute for stitches. They're very handy pieces of equipment. If you are somewhere, you got a bad cut, you need to put it back together quickly, these work. If you've not got stitching equipment, or you're in an area where you don't trust the local doctors, etc., to stitch you back together, this can be used for putting the wound back together, and then when you get somewhere safer, go to a reliable doctor and they can fix it for you. Years ago, I split my nose open. The medic put my nose back together using these, and no problems, they work. Also in this kit, gaffer tape. Very important, multiple uses. Got plenty of plastic bags, as we said, multiple uses. And the safety pins. This last kit I'll show you is an old British Army issued first aid kit. This used to come with prescription drugs, codeine, Pensy codeine. The thing is, with any type of drugs, generally I don't include them in kits. You don't want to give somebody a drug if you don't know if they're allergic to it or not. And when you're traveling internationally, if you've got prescription drugs on you, they're not issued to you, you could be going to prison. In this kit, comes in a plastic box. You had a razor blade, one safety pin. This is antiseptic cream, eye cream, used for burns, used for cuts. You got two dressings, a large field dressing or a large dressing and a small dressing. Again, if you're dealing with gunshot wounds, one for entry, one for exit. And you also got a burns bag. This bag opens up, and that could be somebody's got a bad burn, can be put over the burn to keep it sterile. Also, if somebody's lost a limb, that can be put over the stump, again, to keep out as much dirt, infection as possible. The thing is, with first aid, you need to learn to use the equipment that you've got. There's no need, as I said before, to go and buy sexy first aid kits, which in reality, if you don't know what you're doing with them, they're not going to be too effective. Everything needs to be kept as simple as possible. Do your threat assessment on where you're going, work out the threats you're most likely to encounter, and work out how to deal with them, how to treat any wounds, how to treat trauma, etc. If you're traveling with a team, find out what medical conditions your team members have and make sure you know how to treat them.